welcome to another episode of the Popko Project Podcast. And today I am joined by Derek from Sainthood Reps. Welcome.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I was so happy to get your band sent to me from your PR team. You've been around for a long time, right? We're going on almost 20 years, if not longer.
I guess we really started as Sainthood Reps in very late 2009, early 2010. So yeah,
We're coming up on
a
long time, and your music is right up my alley, and I never heard of it before, and that's why I love doing this. And it's just it's awesome. And you have big news. Big news. We got a new record coming out.
Mm-hmm. September 26th.
September 26th.
Yep.
Bliss.
Very pumped. Yeah. LP number 3 for us. We haven't released a full length since 2013, so it's been
a long
time. Yeah.
This is a long time coming.
Yeah, we took a we hit it kind of hard and heavy from 2010 to somewhere in the 2013 area, and then we all kind of splintered off to do other projects or whatever we were doing, and then we kind of found and then we got back together like around 2017 or 18 or something like that, released a few tunes, and then the pandemic happened, and fast forward a bunch of years, and now here we are. So
now a lot of bands, when the pandemic hit, they kind of were able to focus on music. Was that the case for you guys?
Not entirely, not together as a collective. I own a business where I was like I was open every day, so I was like knee deep in work for like a straight year. I don't feel like I had like one off day or something, but eventually, it was like the classic tale with that, where we were able to send each other stuff online, which is that's not how we work. We're more of like a moody band where we got to sit in the room together and play. So, but there are definitely a few there's a few tunes from the pandemic times that made it onto this record. That's cool.
Yeah. Were you one of those like, what do they call those workers in the pandemic?
Essential.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very essential. Wasn't saving lives or anything, just serving people their beer, soda, and water. So
that's essential.
It is. It was. Everyone said it was essential, so we went with it.
But I was considered essential too, as I was a sales rep, but I was in media, so the media in general was deemed essential.
Mm-hmm.
But try and sell advertising during a pandemic when there's nothing going on. It's very difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I guess conversely, though, like everyone's eyeballs are somewhere, right?
Yeah.
They're forced to be. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess it's how you look at it. I remember that March, it was like, so I work in radio, and the team at the time we were at our March number as a team, like the first week of March. We were cooking, ready to move, and 2 weeks later, it went from being over our number to
severely down.
Yeah. Severely down. Yeah, I spent more time removing revenue than I was putting on.
Yikes! Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, it was. It's funny, like that time was like depending on the job you had, like it was either the all-time, the revenue coming in was just, the best probably numbers you'll ever do in your lifetime, or or the other side of the coin was you're getting laid off and your business went to a standstill. So yeah, strange times.
Yeah, it changed a lot of things. I was just driving home from an event on Friday night. It was between 10 and 11, and a lot of places here now, their kitchens are closed 10 o'clock or earlier. And I was passing bars on a Friday night. They were closed before 11.
Yeah. That's so nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. People just aren't
Yeah, I
Popko
think
now is
I was I did that with my store. We were running like whatever pandemic hours, and then like I don't know, we just never like that. We just morphed into those hours for some reason, even though there's no need to cut them back. We just did, and then we're like, oh, this lifestyle is a little nicer, less hours. This is great. So
yeah.
just rolled
Uh,
with that.
a lot of bars kind of like enjoy it because they're closing 10, 11, maybe midnight at the latest, and they're saying that they're doing a lot of numbers before then, and they're home earlier now, and they're not dealing with really drunk idiots out at
Yeah,
2 o'clock in the morning and getting out of
yeah.
control. And
And it's the old adage like nothing good happens in a bar after 2 a.m.
I
You know?
always say that, yeah,
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
good happens after 2 a.m. Yep,
yeah.
it's just crazy because I think about when I was early 20s and even up until I don't know early 2010, 11, 12, like um, it just I mean you wouldn't go out until 10 o'clock.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just getting started. Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know what kids are doing these days.
Not much. They're like running marathons and
Yeah, being healthy. What's
yeah. What's that
have
about, guys?
have a
Yeah,
beer, make some bad decisions.
yeah. Come on, making me look bad.
Well, tell me a little bit about Sainthood Reps. Obviously, you kind of gave us a little bit, but the history of the band and kind of what you guys are all about.
Sure. Yeah, we So I started Sainthood with Francesco, the other singer. We had various projects. He lived in the same town as me, and so we had I I was always like a hired musician, so I toured around in a bunch of bands. And when I was home, we would jam. He's actually, even though he in Sainthood plays guitar and sings, he's yeah awesome on the drums. So it was like a great unionship when I get home. Like it's always hard to find someone who plays drums and well. So yeah, we would always link, and we loved instrumental post rock. So we love a lot of stuff, but at some point in the early 2000s, that's what we were really into and jamming on a lot. And it was always just for fun. And then at some point, like around that 2009 mark, um, he showed me some songs where he was singing and playing guitar. I was like, hey, this is really cool. Like let's form, let me get involved here for real, and let's start a band. And so yeah, we it was a pretty wild story in the sense that at that time I was like a super active touring musician, and we had some friends uh book us a tour uh based off of zero merit at all. We only had one song on YouTube, and yeah, the tour attendance wise was horrible, rightfully so. But I was so busy that I didn't meet the band that became Sainthood Reps until we were in the van on the way to the first show. Um, and so it was like literally like I just because I was again just like out working all the time on tour, so we had no time to practice. So Chesco kind of recruited this band, and he gave him the green light and said, they were good players and cool people. And so I just trusted his decision and jumped in the van and did the, hey, how are you? And off we went. And then, so obviously, uh, you know, those first 10, 20 shows were like the most brutal way to cut your teeth, like trying to like gel with practical strangers, songs that you haven't even really played together. We had like one rehearsal somewhere before we played the first show. Really, it's not good all around. Yeah, and then we quickly got um, some attention from some labels, and uh, we wound up on Tooth and Nail Records, and they had some bands that we really admired at the time, Me Without You, and like Starflyer 59. And they, as a label, like they weren't necessarily like the best fit for us. But all the people behind the scenes were really cool, and they were really into what we were doing. And they said, like, at that time, all the things we wanted to hear, you know, they're like, you want to be a noisy band, just, go do noise. You want to, chase that Jesus Lizard sound, or chase, whatever we went into, Polvo, Jesus Lizard, whatever Maniac bands we were listening to then. And so they were saying all the buzzwords. So we were like, we got to sign with these guys. They know what's up. And yeah, we did that. That record was our first record, Monoculture, that came out in 2011. And then we toured a bunch off of that, and then switched labels to No Sleep Records, which doesn't exist anymore. But they kind of at that time had aligned with a lot of bands that we started touring with, like Law Dispute and Balance and Composure and other bands like that. And that's at that time, those bands were on that label. And then yeah, like after that record came out, Headswell, the second record in 2013, we did a couple tours, and that's, like I said, then we kind of split up from there for a while.
And you mentioned a bunch of those bands, and you shared the stage with those guys too, like Law Dispute, Balancing Composure, Tiger's Jaw, which is from the area that I'm from,
Oh yeah.
the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area.
Yeah.
Actually, used to work with Brianna at
Nice.
a screen printing shop.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Yeah, speaking of being a hired musician, I was hired musician for them for a while.
really.
Yeah, right on the Charmer record, like around that era, like so that 2014. So yeah, like when I was saying, like other projects we disbanded for, like when I left Sainthood, I not left, but when we disbanded, that's where I went. I went to Tiger's Jaw, played with them for 2 years.
That's
So
awesome. I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
Small
So
world.
yeah, man, been a curry donuts a bunch. Uh, you know,
So you're familiar with the Wilkes-Barre area then, I guess.
yeah, oh yeah.
Nice. Um, you know, performing with those bands and the same stages and things like that. How do you think has that shaped your sound at all? Like,
Um, no, not particularly the sound. So like our like like a lot of them would be like companion bands that kind of just like found each other, and obviously the nuances are different, but the same ethos and idea in a broad spectrum scope. I could see how we all fit in together. But it definitely uh it it there's like a level of excitement and like watching those bands play every night, and then watching people like flip out over what they're doing, and it definitely just makes you want to play at your best, play at the top of your game, and you're getting sometimes like when you're on tour, it could be a lull, a drag or whatever, but when you're playing with the bands that are like just like the best people, but then you know they're absolutely slaying it every night, you want to step up and make sure
yeah,
you're at your best, and that synergy really is like electric. Like when it happens, it's cool.
yeah. And for anyone who doesn't know, your band, describe your sound and what it is.
uh that's so hard to do, because I feel like anytime I show uh, uh if I show someone in the band like a song that I think is a blatant ripoff of you know a certain sound or a band, or vice versa, Chesco shows me something, 9 times out of 10 no one gets the reference, and they're not, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
think when you're so emaciated in your or emaciated, not emaciated, yeah, no, immersed
yeah,
in your, I'm so thin, if you're like just like immersed in your art, like I don't know, it's hard to like understand really what you sound like. But I definitely would say, live, I don't know if it comes across on record, but live it's super loud, fuzzed out guitars meets super clean, washy guitars, very, loud, quiet kind of band, kind of dream pop, kind of grunge, new gaze, since that's a like a term now that didn't exist. But yeah, those kind of worlds kind of all colliding into one weird sound. Yeah.
I don't think it's weird. I don't know how to describe it either. And I've been like racking my brain trying to compare your sound to something else I'm familiar with, and I just couldn't do it. I have a bad habit of trying to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it, but like it's like I said, it's right in my wheelhouse as far as like stuff that I love. Um, and you know, being from Long Island, um, and you know that scene has produced a ton of influential acts. Like, how has that environment kind of influenced you guys? You know, musically or just as a band in general?
Uh yeah, like yeah, I'm old enough where like I'm so there's like a little bit of an age gap with like me and Francesco. So he's like 4 or 5, 6 years younger than me, whatever it is. And so I was like on the forefront of like when all the Long Island bands were getting scooped up and signed, and those are my, you know, everyone that I've toured with a bunch and cut my teeth with out on the road with a bunch. So like for me, it's like a different experience for some of the other guys in my band that like didn't start touring yet, so they were home when all that was exploding. For me, I was already on tour and like a part of that whole thing, so like it didn't like affect me the same way it might have affected them. But yeah, it was just like a weird, wild ride. Like you know, all of the Long Island bands, like pick any of them, we would all go on tour together, and maybe like we would do like a East Coast tour down to Florida, and they're literally just playing to 3 people a night, 5 people a night, whatever it was, and then like the same tour package 2 years later could do like 300 people a night, you know, and it happened so fast, you know, it was, you know, and then it was like quadruple that, you know, like a year later, you know, it just like once it caught on, it like caught on so quick, it was nuts.
Yeah.
uh,
Talk to me about the new record. It's titled Dull Bliss. I feel like that has I don't know, it's these two words. Like talk about the title and kind of what's behind this new record.
yeah, for sure. Like I was just listening to uh Kurt Vile. He just put out a new EP this year, and he has a he has a line in one of his tunes that kind of to me almost sums up our record, and it was basically like a sometimes a man gets lonely and he needs a hit of that high life, and uh yeah, I think we were all just coming from a place where like you know there you know we've been chasing something, whatever all of us have been chasing, and we seem to have a lot of personal achievements. And when we get together and we're just talking about our lives and, you know, just getting real with each other, like, you know, are you happy? Like, are you, you know, are you good? You're like, what's going on? You know, just doing like a real hearty check-in. Like we all kind of realize like we're all like pretty grateful for the things we're doing, but at the same time we're feeling kind of flat. And um yeah, that kind of became like it was a lyrical theme that presented itself, um and it wasn't intentional. And then like once me and Jessica kind of connected on a couple of songs, we're like, oh yeah. And then, you know, that the title itself kind of was just some wordsmithing from our drummer Brad. Yeah, he just like he you know, he put the pieces together. He's like, oh, it's this. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So pretty cool.
Are there any inspirations from that you guys kind of carry into your music as far as, you know, whether it's musically or lyrically?
Self-loathing, depression,
All the good stuff.
anxiety.
All the
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
yeah.
why I like you guys so much.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. Um, yeah, man, I'm just trying to like, so my intentions for the songs that I had a heavy hand in contributing were, um, is I I wanted to kind of approach these songs like in a more concise way. I feel like we always intentionally went like a little left or angular with our approach to like the either the songwriting or the overall like tones that we're picking for the record. And for this one, like they're not necessarily clean tones, but there's in a lot of tracks there's less layering and just like a more succinct um like one melody, or it's like very, I don't know, there's like a lot of acoustic layering that was big for us. That was like one thing we were chasing, where it's not the main instrument that's featured, but if you listen almost in every track there's like some nice acoustic happening underneath that just adds like this cool like percussive uh and floaty thing to the tune. Yeah, and then as far as bands, I think like it didn't necessarily affect the songwriting, but production wise, I think Fontaine's DC. There's a few times like I remember us being like, we gotta chase the Fontaines thing, and then for me, like always going back to the Cure would always be like a number one. Like if I'm stuck or whatever, my natural inclination is like make it sound like the Cure, and then I'll chase that.
yeah, I can hear that. That's cool. You guys released Dizzy and Blue Nothing. Those are available streaming now. Why did you guys choose those two tracks as the kind of a glimpse into the new record?
Um, we we're definitely set on Blue Nothing. We just like the tone it set. It kind of uh it sort of have, not that like our sound like has totally changed from our first record, but it just felt like a good energy and pacing. It felt like it conveyed sort of like the best, maybe like the best glimpse into this record, where it uh was like a little bit of a slight style change for us, but it still had, some heavy riffs. And yeah, we just thought the song rocks. And so that was it.
So I forget how long ago I got your the band sent to me from your team, and the minute I heard it, I was like, yes, if I can interview these guys, I would love to. And so I had it on my in a rotation on my playlist, and I was outside cutting down, like, just removing some like landscape stuff, like cutting some trees and trimming that kind of shit. And the street I was doing, I was cutting the branches off, and I found a load of those flying lantern or the spotted lantern
Yeah,
flies.
yeah,
So your song is in the background, and I don't know which one it was. I think it was one of these new ones, I think. Um, so I took a video of like all these spotted lantern flies, and I sent it to my buddies, and they're like, "Yo, that like the music behind that video is like perfect for what
yeah.
this like.
That's
It's like
like,
this
yeah.
ominous like
Uh,
this thing. It was just funny how it like
oh
kind of
man, I gotta see that. I let out all of my childhood trauma. It's cathartic. It is everything I needed to be when I'm whacking those spotted lantern flies. I've, let out like a guttural yelp, just like I,
it,
I find no more joy than smacking those things around. Yeah.
yeah. I never saw so many in one place before. It was
Mm.
just like it was like kind of scary.
Yeah. What did you wind up doing? Did you like just try to stomp them all out at once, or
Yeah, well, they were on a
your
branch, so
method?
I was like, I don't know, like I
Yeah.
took my gloves off and I started like swatting
Uh,
at them.
oh man, I would
But
have been stomping hard. Yeah.
I guess I guess you can inject the trees. Like if you see a tree with a bunch of them like on it like that, they're probably like living there. Like I guess you can inject the tree with some kind something that I
Yeah,
guess
I sprayed in one of my trees. Um, uh, I had I don't know, some sort of spray. We were super suspect on it, and we're like, what's the worst that could go wrong? We're just going to spray a bunch of chemicals on this tree, see what happens. And it seems to have worked. Like it definitely, like you said, if we had hundreds one year, or we felt like 1,000 or more, and it's this year, it's this like year 3 or 4, whatever it is, and they're practically gone. But I've also been hearing that they've now been kind of introduced as like a into the habitat. So now like yellow jackets are eating them, and
oh,
bats are eating them as well.
no kidding. Well,
I
that's
don't know.
cool.
Yeah, new food for the little
It
guys.
helps get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed you've had less over the years now, but
Well, yeah, coming across this, I mean, I guess it's kind of been consistent where I am. Maybe less. I don't know. It's kind of crazy because they're pretty looking.
yeah, they are.
They're colorful, and it's a shame that they're a
Or
problem.
sinister. Like it could be pretty, but if you're looking at it from another lens, you're like these guys are, they're gonna take over the world. We gotta,
They are.
yeah,
Oh man, here we are talking about bugs
yeah.
on a music podcast. But it was a cool soundtrack. I'll have to
Yeah,
actually
I got to see that video
yeah
because
I'll send
you
it to you.
just spoke to my inner soul here.
I'll send it to you. As far as this new record goes, were there any like unexpected breakthroughs or challenges that kind of shaped the direction of it?
Yeah, our producer, who's a really good friend of ours, Brett Romness, he plays drums in I Am the Avalanche and Crime and Stereo. He is just so musically talented, and um, he's able to uh, hear things uh, within the tune, whether it's changing. He's he's a wizard of some sort, and I don't know if he's like hears the song based off of the song, or he already has the song written and he's just making you slowly change the song into the song that he wants written. But either way, it's awesome. But
Yeah,
yeah, there's a few tunes on that record where we went in sure as day, like this is it, this is the structure, we got the vocals, we got everything we need, it is done, wrap it, this is going to be the quickest and easiest one to record. And 3 out of 3 on those were the ones that became like the head scratchers. They changed so much, they morphed so much, they so much of the songwriting, what were like, maybe like simpler songs or like straightforward songs became some of the more complex and nuanced songs that by the end of it, we weren't even sure if we identified with the song or liked the song. And like we kind of went through this like mourning phase, like with a few of these where we like were lamenting that like we may have just like lost what was our favorite song. Uh and now it's not even usable. And so like we just kind of like put those like on the back burner, um finish the record, and then in totality, like after like stepping away from those songs that were like the problem songs, they did wind up pretty much unanimously becoming our favorite songs on the record. And we were able to like once we like let go of the attachment of like our vision for the song, and had like a reset and came back to it sometime, and we were like, oh, these are incredible. And
hmm
but yeah, those were the challenges. We're just like, I guess like um even as a writer, like being aware that you have some sort of ego and attachment to songs, and even if you're already actively practicing non-attachment, um, even when you think you're doing a good job of that, then you encounter someone like Rat who will completely just blow your shit up and turn you upside down, and it it like mentally really fucks with you and your perception of like songwriting in a great way, because he uh just, I don't know, allowed us to like break through that wall and enter a new space of creativity that we didn't know was available to us.
They're so important. I talked to a lot of musicians, obviously, and having that, um, someone like that is just, it's, I don't know, it's like they hear things differently, or I don't know how it works because I'm not a musician myself, right? Um, it's kind of crazy how they are able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's I've worked some with some really amazing producers, Will Yip, Mike Sapone, um, Nick Raskulinix, and yeah, Rat is to me the most, and they're all, every producer that I just mentioned, like I would tomorrow, if we could record a record, we would. They're just the best. But just like working with Rat was just on another level from those guys, as far as like you said, just being able to pull this weird chord that shouldn't work in the tune, and then making it logically happen, and not from like a mathy, well, it's probably mathy too, which is beyond my scope, but like it's like also beautiful and makes sense, and it's totally out of your comfort zone, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. So it's interesting.
Do you see your songs as a more personal reflection, or is it just kind of broad and the listeners can kind of attach their own meaning to them?
um yeah, I definitely write from, me personally, I write from experience, or uh some of it's stream of conscious, just like what's going on, you know in my mind that day. And then that's usually like where the song starts, and then I'll kind of look for, uh try to see what I was trying to say in that like stream of conscious thing, and then either relate it to, it's usually something personal, whether it's could be a story about a friend, or a blend of my own feelings, thoughts, and also a situation that might have happened. um but yeah, and then Chesko, I don't want to speak for him, but um he I would say like the core difference in our lyrics are mine, at least on paper, maybe a little more straightforward, and his, to me, seems like, although they may be very personal, also he has a nice way of like leaving it kind of open, in my opinion. But
And you guys have received like praise from outlets like Brooklyn Vegan, Spin, Punk News. How has that given any validation to your creative process at all, or confidence rather?
um yeah, yeah, that's always nice. Those things are always really cool. I think we feel more, uh it feels more impactful for us, like when another band is like, that
Yeah,
was a shit. Like we just
yeah.
played a show with, The World Is a Beautiful Place, and they asked us to do one of their reunion shows, and we were chatting before the show, and they were just saying, that, they were like super kind, and just saying like, our first record, Monoculture, at that time was, really impactful for them. And like for me, like hearing that versus, getting like the best write up in the world, like I'd rather hear that 10 times, but it's cool. Yeah, it's definitely, who doesn't want to hear,
Yeah.
that what you did, was worthy of being written or talked about. It's cool.
And how about your fans? I mean, are your fans very do they communicate to you like how much your stuff means to them?
Yeah, definitely. There's they're like scattered, like we have, we're definitely a small band, but we've always uh we haven't like with the fans that we've connected with, it's definitely hasn't been like this wide net where we grabbed a lot of people, but um the ones that it connected with, it seems like it's like a forever relationship, and it's like um whether we don't release a song for 6 years or an album for 12 years, like they're back, when like the reps are back, they're back and they show up. It's cool.
Well, sometimes smaller bands, their fans are the most dedicated and loyal and loving.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
I read years ago, I read this essay called 1000 True Fans, and it's just about the idea of like um every indie artist or small artist shouldn't be focusing on trying to get a million fans or whatever. Like if you have 1000 true fans as a solo recording artist, you could probably make an okay living. And by that, by a true fan, meaning like the person that's going to buy every one of your merch drops, every one of your records, come to every one of your shows. And it's like you don't need um, commercial success in that way. You just need 1000 true fans.
yeah, I think too, like success is really, what is success, right? Like, is it the $1 million home and the fancy car, or is it, just doing what you love and, having great fans and just kind of, not having that pressure that comes with those huge touring bands.
Yeah, I think for our band, what and you'll hear this a lot with like the elder emos and the aging vets that we are. That I think like when the bands that have some long lasting staying power, but whether they're in the upper echelon, like the big dogs, or even like the small indie guys, at some point there's like that light bulb aha moment where they go back to being like, oh yeah, we're doing this because we love, you know we just love getting in a room together. And that's really what it's about, right? It's just like that exchange that happens when you know the 4 or 5 of you get in a room and something happens, and then like it's that's the best part. Or like the there's like a sweet spot where like before, like when you write a home demo, and then before you send it out to anyone, like maybe you listen to it a few times, however many, 10 times, 3 times, whatever it is. Like you're so stoked on it, and you're so like amped on the possibilities of what it is. And like there's like this magical moment that for me is like one of those hits of the high life where like I'm always chasing, where it's like the accomplishment of the night of like wrapping this tune up, and you know and it may be flawed and whatever, but you're so stoked on like that. You literally just created something from nowhere, and now it's this like tangible thing that sounds pleasing to you. And before you send it off to your band to get chopped up, or to fans or whatever, like it's like this really sweet moment that is the reason why I keep playing music, basically,
Yeah,
from like a songwriting
right.
aspect. But it's like once you send it out to the world, it's no longer yours.
Hmm.
There's going to be critique, this and that, blah, 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 and it's like, and that's fine too. But it's like that moment at like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. when you finish that tune, and you're like, yeah, this is good. I
Yeah.
like this. it's awesome.
So Dole Bliss comes out September 26th. What are you most excited about for this release?
Uh, just to finally be able to play more of these songs live. We've been we don't get to play a lot of shows. So I don't know, we just felt like, we started to work one or two of them into the set, but yeah, now we're excited just to start playing like the majority of our set be the new ones and just like ride that show and make that like a fun experience.
Oh yeah.
Then yeah, man, we're just trying to rock with our friends wherever they want to take us or have us. We'll be there. So
Are there shows lined up?
we're doing a release show at Union Pool in New York in October. We're playing down at the Fest in Gainesville at the end of October, and then yeah, we have some other stuff on the after that. Um, but yeah, so
Nice.
not too much. Our bass player plays in Incendiary and this band Caspian. So it's sort of like trickles down, where he's needed there, and then yeah, we kind of fill in the gaps and try to rock whenever we can from there.
Nice. Nice. What are you listening to right now? Well, not
Ooh,
right now, but like
yeah. Definitely the Kurt Vile EP, the new Dijon record that just came out. That those definitely in my top two spins. And then Military Gun. What else just came out? I cycle through. I don't know how you are, the older you get, but I haven't lost that like love for like new music. Like I'm always on the hunt for new tunes. So my consumption rate is pretty high, and
mhm.
it doesn't usually last very long. So
On to the next, right?
yeah, yeah. Not in a bad way, but like,
Right, of course.
um, but yeah, I think the the biggest record that had like the longest lasting impact definitely was the last Fontaine's record. And then yeah, I went down like an Oasis rabbit hole because of the reunion shows.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's where I'm living pretty much right now.
I have been obsessed with PD USA.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah,
Obsessed.
I haven't. Um, does he have something new out?
I think it came out in July, I want to say.
Okay, yeah, I missed that one. And see that one yet.
He has this
Cool.
song, it's called The Yips. And I listen to it over and over and over again. I don't know if it's I know why. I mean, like lyrically, it is like been who I've become over the last 2 months or so. But just the way yeah, it's an amazing song. The Yips,
Yep, so I'll have to check it out.
yeah, the Yips, and then breathing the same air is another, and that kind of just ties to just a life scenario that I've been in over the last month. So I'm sure that my love for those two songs specifically have they have a spot in my heart. But like just lyrically for the Yips, it was like it's really well done. Like
Oh yeah.
it's really cool. That's what I
Oh,
love about music. It's just the way it makes you feel, and I'm sure that you can
yeah, of
appreciate that as someone who creates it. It's.
course.
I mean,
Are you
what-
able to recall like when you do have that moment with the tune where you really connected with it? Are you able to recall where you were?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I think um, those moments have become less to a degree. Like I have this weird thing about me. Like if I own, like I can tell you almost like the month, the year, the month, sometimes down to the week or even like the day. When I drove to the record store and bought the record, or
right, right.
so much music is like tied to like moments of your life, right? So I'm sure like this album with PD USA will be tied to what I've been going through, but like it's just music, man. It's just it's a girl you're dating or a road trip with your friends or
Oh yeah.
oh, it's just so like yeah, it's an incredible thing, and so thank you for creating music that people can tie to their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's like, are you one of those guys that you get the chills when you hear certain tunes? Yeah.
Goosebumps, yeah.
And not
There's
everyone, I was shocked to learn that not everyone
not
has
everyone
that.
does.
Yeah.
It's what is it called? It's called something.
Yeah. Probably something aphilia.
No, it starts with an F, I think. It was
There
just
was a device where we could figure this out.
yes.
Um, but yeah, like I was shocked to learn that not everyone has that. And then yeah, I think it's also to me super strange when people just straight up uh don't enjoy music. Like they're
Right.
not really like it's like, do you have no soul? Like what is happening? Like,
Do you not
when they're
feel
just
things?
casual, like I could take it, leave it, like music in general, like it's just like this weird overarching category of like, yeah, music's all right. It's pretty cool, I guess. I'm like, what? It's my
Yeah.
entire life. But
Yeah, it's called I don't know if I'm saying it right. Frizzen. F
oh,
R Frisson.
sounds like a like a something like the young kids would say, it's for real. Yeah.
It's lit.
Yeah.
I saw some a word today. It's delulu is a word that the kids are using.
Mm,
I guess that's short for delusional.
I love it.
I
That's
did
good.
too. Delulu. I like that. Yeah, that guy's delulu.
Yeah, that's great.
A couple more questions. I won't keep it too much longer. Just fun stuff. First band you ever saw live?
Well, I think on a technicality, it was The Cure. My mom, obviously, well, not obviously, I was 5, and that's how I got into The Cure, was because of her. And I was her plus one on that night. It was like Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me tour, 1987 or 8. Um, and then, yeah, that was for sure the first concert that I went to, but willingly paying as a kid. Um, I think, oh man, I think it was Primus, because it was the first night I moshed too. It was like it was a really big night for me and the boys. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Primus as like my first like stepping out on my own show
Okay.
or concert. Yeah.
All right. Dream tour lineup, living or dead?
Woo! That uh we're playing or just watching? Just watching.
Either
Oh,
one. Pick one.
all
It
right.
can maybe you're going to see it. Dream tour
Cool.
lineup, and then
Yeah.
your band's going to open for them.
No, that would ruin the equation. It'd be more fun to Dream Tour lineup, trying to keep it to 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so tough. Oh man. Uh Hendrix is coming to mind. Um yeah, I gotta stand in front of his amplifiers and hear him rip. Um and like, oh, this is good. I'm gonna go something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Gonna go Hendrix, gonna go uh I'm gonna go, yeah, I'm just gonna go Hendrix, The Cure, Police, and throw in SZA. Why not?
Okay. All
It's a
right.
weird mix.
That's okay. What's the most Long Island thing about Sainthood Reps?
Probably our like ability to critique and put down anything and everything from each member of the band. Like, even if it's something we love, you are going to get chewed out about it in, like in a razzing way. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? You like Starbucks? Are you kidding me? Starbucks? Like a week that you'll see, someone, yeah,
Yeah.
it could be anything. But yeah, just the ability to like on a dime, just completely, you know,
Shit all
really,
over
really
something.
get under, yeah, just
Yeah.
really get under one of your bandmates' skin. I think
Yeah.
that's our Long Island superpower.
It's funny.
That and our love for pizza.
Okay. Well, if you love pizza, then I'm sure you had some NEPA pizza
Oh
in
yeah.
your time here.
Oh yeah. Definitely love the sweet sauce.
Yeah.
Um, I'm blanking on the names of the iconic spots, but
Angelo's and Jerry's.
clothes. Yep. Yep. Great. I know Scranton, Penn showed me a bunch of the Scranton spots. Um, yeah, there was a little while where I was super plugged into all those slices. I gotta say, I love I do love a sweet sauce. It's great.
Yeah.
There's a spot in right where we were recording that had like a thin pie, thin crust sweet sauce, and I would like, it was embarrassing how much we would like, how many pies we could take down between
Yeah.
like the four of us. It was insane.
Hell yeah. Who's the biggest perfectionist in the band?
Oh, that's our bass player Yanni, without a doubt, 100%. Like nothing, nothing is very particular. And I mean, I think that's also his strength, is like he's a really good editor. But goddamn, can it be hard to, if it gets past him, you feel like you've just like moved a mountain,
Hell yeah.
like.
That's funny. One song that you wish you had written.
Oh, that's great. That's a great question. Great question. We'll go to try to go to, oh man, I'm so bad with song names.
I know it's tough.
I'm gonna go to a friend's band. We'll keep it Pennsylvania. We'll go Balance and Composure. And I'm gonna say, I mean, there's a few I'd pick, but Midnight Zone by Balance and Composure.
Okay.
That's the answer.
I think they're from Doylestown, right?
Doylestown, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
when I launched, so I host like a show on the radio, and it's dedicated to local music. And I don't know how we got their music, and I mean they're out of our listening area, but I think one of my first shows featured Balance and Composure.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, we grew up with them. They were like for Sainthood. Um, they were like they played our first Philly show, and it was one of their. Oh, it's definitely not their first Philly show, but it was very early on in their career as well. And they played our first show, and then we just hit it off from then. And then we wound up touring a bunch together. Me, and actually they're on one of our songs that's coming out on this record. And yeah, we've just had like a musical friendship since then.
Nice.
So many years ago, as you've pointed out. Yeah.
Yeah, when I launched, it was 2017, and I don't
Cool.
know how long they were around at that point. But yeah, it's hard to believe it's that long ago.
Yeah. Yeah. 2017 feels like yesterday, but it also like, like we talked about, like you lose, like the COVID years kind of all get crunched into like 1 year. And then
Yes,
so it's like, you're like that, no way, that's 8 years ago,
I know. I know.
it's nuts.
And last question, what's next for the band after this album drops?
Oh, if I had it my way, we have some songs that we've already recorded and finished, and a few that we to us might be like we feel really good about this next batch of stuff that we already worked on, that we haven't recorded. But yeah, I would love to get something out next year too. But that's just me. Yeah, I love being in the studio and recording. I mean, I love playing live too, but yeah, just like once you get in the studio zone, it's the best. So yeah, if I had it my way, that would be what's next on our docket. But yeah, I think we're just trying to rock and play some shows, and that's it. That, you know,
Oh, man. It's a great plan. I like it.
hey, that's why we're here to rock. So.
Well, Derek, thank you so much. Sainthood Reps, new album, Dole Bliss, comes out September 26th. Best of luck with it. Looking forward to it. I've had the pleasure of hearing it in full.
Nice. Thank you. Awesome.
It's awesome,
Appreciate
dude.
you.
So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right, see you.